I'm still fuming, guys, after that match, but Barcelona versus Racing Santander. A big match for them. And seeing as Real Madrid just got absolutely pumped by Albacete, we're just going to have to talk about this truthfully and factually, yeah? This is a non-biased channel. I've made this channel for the purpose of talking about Barcelona, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Because I need a break from Real Madrid. I need a break. I need to just understand everything about Spanish football, and this is a chance to do it. So Barcelona versus Racing Santander. Now, let's get into it, because the Copa del Rey now is Barcelona's to win. Let's just talk about that first. After Real Madrid got pammed by Albacete, Barcelona now are in favourite. They're in charge to win this. Absolutely in charge. And there's no other team that can stop them. Not one singular team. But Racing Santander, being in the position they are, and being first in the Segunda Division and hoping to get promoted to La Liga, they're playing some good football at the moment. Away from home, Barcelona may find some troubles in this. They may. In terms of their style and play, I've evaluated Santander before, and they have a good style, good system, good rhythm to their tempo of game. And Barcelona, they need to be fearful of this somewhat. But seeing as Barcelona have come back off a win against Real Madrid in the Super Cup, do you think necessarily that Barcelona need to play the same strength side that they did? I don't think so. I think they can rest a few players. Now, Rafinha out of the team may be a weird one. I don't know. I'm not expecting it, but you may see him drop for Rashford. Will he be? I'm not entirely sure. That is a question amongst all Barcelona fans' mind. And seeing as Rashford is not in the best of books with a lot of Barcelona fans, then I think that you probably would like to see Rafinha there and try to really get into his rhythm, his form. But this is also a chance to rest Rafinha. This is a chance to rest him and then keep him fresh, because Barcelona, they do have some decent games coming up. And to go into La Liga and then go into Champions League after, that's where you need Rafinha most, I think, from my perspective as a Real Madrid fan. So going with Barcelona and seeing this game, this is going to be a very, very tricky game to navigate. Yeah. But seeing as Real Madrid just got knocked out by Albacete, I think Barcelona, they're going to have full motivation now to win this whole thing. They may win the treble this season. The domestic treble is definitely on the cards for Barcelona. There's no question about it. It's definitely on the cards. So if you're looking at it on paper, they should definitely beat Racing Santander easily and comfortably. But Racing Santander, they will always give a tough game. And you've just got to see how Hansi Flick is going to break this down. Okay, so squad rotation and management. Okay, so Yamal is likely to be dropped, I think, for Ronny Del Barjari. I think that Lewandowski will be dropped for Ferran Torres. I'm seeing the backline potentially maybe Araujo and Gerard Martin being obviously in the squad, because they featured late on in the game in the Super Copa de España in the final against Real Madrid. So with the packed schedule coming up against January, don't forget, there is 8 games total in January. They've already played one, tough one, against Espanyol. They've already played the Super Cup and the semi-final of the Super Cup against Bilbao. They're playing Santander, and they've got games against Slavia Prague also in the Champions League. Yeah, Copenhagen in the Champions League. So there are games to navigate here in January. And it's no easy feat at all. So resting Rafinha may be a good call. Resting Yamal may be a good call, but if you're resting Yamal, then I would probably feature Rafinha. Pedri, should he be rested? I don't think so. I think Pedri just coming back into the flow of things. I think he needs to be there. When you're playing Copa del Rey against certain sides, and Albacete just pumped Real Madrid, so I have no way to speak about this, but when you're playing certain sides, okay, and especially in the position they're in terms of Santander's position in the Segunda Division, they will have a chance here to cause an upset. If Barcelona don't field at least 2 to 3 of their top quality players. And the top quality players I'm talking about are Fermin Lopez, Pedri, Yamal, or Rafinha. Yeah? Those are the top quality players. The back line is always going to be the back line of Barcelona. They're always going to be susceptible to different counter-attacking opportunities, and I'll be going into those in a bit at the moment. So you have to analyze it correctly. Will Barcelona go full strength against Santander, or will they stay in their shell and get a couple of goals and then say, okay, we'll go into the next match in La Liga? That's very a difficult position to do it. And Dali, in the live chat, the reason I'm talking about Barcelona, I want to take my mind off Real Madrid for a second, please, because I have no brains for that team anymore. I have no brains. I can't be asked about them. Yeah? I can't. Yeah? They can sit to a side for a second. I'm talking about Barcelona here, so I don't really care, mate. Yeah? I don't really care. I'm just giving my true opinion on Barcelona versus Santander because it could be a difficult match. Yeah? Real Madrid, wash to the side, bro. They got knocked out. Barcelona are definitely on course to win another domestic treble. So this Copa del Rey game against Santander is completely a chance for them to just go, okay, cool, we'll beat Segunda Division Santander. They have maybe a few difficult games to navigate in the Copa del Rey. So hopefully, maybe Barcelona will try and rest their players if they're going to see it that way to maybe fare differently in later routes. But we'll see, mate, about Rafinha and Yamal and Cole, because I'm not entirely sure, yeah? My head is flustered. My head is hot, guys. I don't even know how I'm doing this, but I'm just talking. Anyway, we move, guys, yeah? We move. The away cup test, big one, okay? So away game, yeah, in Spain, as we just saw with Albacete, is always tough, yeah? And you're always going to hostile ground. Santander is always a hostile ground, yeah? Always hostility. We know that, yeah? We've seen them play, obviously, before. Santander is always a common team that play always excellent football, regardless of who's playing or what's going on, yeah? So the tactical battles, yeah? The tactical battles are going to be extreme, yeah? Between maybe Santander, who wants to sit back on some occasions and then play their build-up possession type football, against Barcelona, who will be trying to press on several occasions, but will they get away with it? That's the question. Will they get away with the high press? They would against Santander, I think so. So the way that Santander are going to hurt Barcelona is similarly how I would say Sevilla hurt Barcelona, and teams like Villarreal could have if they took their chances, and Espanyol maybe if they could have taken their chances. Those kind of wide counter-attacking opportunities where they use pace to their advantage and they can hurt Barcelona when the wing-backs flood up. Because we know that Hansi Flick are going to be like that. They're going to play like that, and they're going to try and kill the game off early. The tactical battle here for Barcelona is, do we kill the game off early completely, or do we go maybe later, adjust, see how Santander are playing, because maybe they're not familiar with them, playing obviously a Segunda Division side, and seeing how they play. Because against Guadalajara, they had difficulty breaking them down because they don't know how to tactically face them. So this is always going to be like a kind of fighter's chance in here. Sometimes they have a fighter's chance, a puncher's chance, but Barcelona are going to be jabbing away, trying to expose the gaps, and that's where we're going to see it most. We're going to see most of the opportunities from Barcelona come from the wings, and then obviously going to the center. I would probably see Fermin Lopez playing. I'm not entirely sure. But if you're looking at Olmo maybe sitting in that position also, it could be Olmo. So they're going to put their tactical and their technical, ballers on their pitch, because that's what we're probably going to be seeing from Barcelona as a team. Yeah? And then the wingers, Ronnie Baldaggi, if it's Rashford, it's Rafinha. If it's up to me, this is how I will line up for Barcelona. Yeah? This is how I will line up. The usual back four, but with Araujo and Gerard Martin in the back. Yeah? You probably have Casado. You have Pedri and you have Olmo, and then you have Rafinha on the left, you have Ferran Torres in the middle, and then you have Ronnie Baldaggi on the outside. Because Yamal needs to rest up because he always has that long-term injury, so he needs to rest up. So Barcelona and the fans in the chat, do you think that's a decent squad? Put your squads in the live chat and put your squads in the comments down below, guys. Let me know your thoughts, because I actually want to gauge what you're thinking in terms of squads for Barcelona versus Santander. We'll have to see. We'll have to obviously formulate an opinion on that one. Yeah? So, just tactically, just going to finish up the tactical battles section on this. I think, honestly, that Santander could hurt Barcelona, but they're going to have limited chances to do so. I'll explain why. Because the press against Real Madrid in the Super Cup, if that is against Santander, Santander will be dealt with 10 times out of 10. Yeah? Because footballing-wise, you're going to see Santander maybe trying to do their build-up, but unfortunately for them, they'll get caught out in possession a lot of times. Yeah, they're going to be pressing high. They're going to be trying to win up the ball high up the pitch. So it's going to say differences on the pitch. It's going to speak volumes on the pitch, the way Santander play and the way they approach this game. Yeah, so just obviously going to their ground and stuff like that is going to be crazy. They're going to have obviously the fans definitely in a raucous. They're going to be raising the roof. They're going to be shouting out loud. They're going to be going mad. And this is exactly how Barcelona really thrive, I think. On the fresh, I think they're just going to go in, chill out, relax, play their football. They're going to do their one-touch passing. They're going to be direct at times. They're not going to be fazed by the pressure of the audience or the crowd, because the away cup test is big and vital, especially in domestic cup competitions. We've seen in the FA Cup. We've seen it with Copa del Rey. We've seen it various times. And I said in the Real Madrid match, I've seen Real Madrid getting beaten by worse. So Albacete is a surprise in terms of that moment, but I've seen them getting beaten by worse. Real Madrid. So this is how you're going to have to obviously face it. You're going to have to face it and see how our Barcelona are going to take or handle the heat, essentially, in this game. Will the crowd get to them? No, I don't think so. But will the crowd motivate Santander to play better? I think they will. Yeah? So, coming onto this comment here, Razor saying Balde and Rashford don't play well together. One has to go. I honestly believe so. I think Rafinha and Balde got hand in hand. Rashford and Balde don't go hand in hand. They run in too many to each other's paths. They run in the same diagonal pattern. They always go on the outside. Rafinha knows when Balde's running on the outside. Rafinha knows when they invert. He knows when he's doing both. That's the difference between Rafinha and the difference between Marcus Rashford when it comes to Balde. Balde's a different player. You see it. When Balde plays with Rafinha, completely different. Yeah? It's similar to when, I would say similar to when Yamal and Koundé played last season. You see them, they go hand in hand. They always know. They're always in synergy. So the synergy between Rashford and Balde is trash, mate. It's trash, yeah? Like Rashford, I knew it before the season that he's not going to do absolute wonders, but he can come on and make an effect. Like, the chance that he missed against Real Madrid was absolutely peach for him. It was like put on a plate for him. And he fluffed it, completely fluffed it. That's crazy to me. So, look, just to go back on it, the away cup test is always going to be crucial. Yeah? And you're going to see these tests throughout, obviously, the Copa del Rey. Because always knockout, it's always, obviously, the draw dictates who you're playing. And at the end of the Copa del Rey, you're going to see Barcelona in the final, mate. Unless they get beaten or they get handed a defeat by someone that's not expected. And this could be the team that is unexpected, but I don't think it's going to be. Yeah? I'll summarize my predictions in about 5 minutes towards the end of this video, guys. But let's get into the Barcelona breakdown, okay? So, Barcelona, yeah? Now, they've been playing crazy, mate. Can they make this 11 wins in a row? Obviously, Real Madrid was the 10th. Can Barcelona make 11 wins? Look, I've got to say it right now, yeah? Barcelona winning 11 games straight in a row is crazy beyond belief. I've never seen it, never understood, yeah? And never understood it, mate, yeah? Never understood it. It's crazy, mate, yeah? I don't understand, like, how can they win 11 games in a row? 11 games. That's ridiculous, mate. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah? We are Like, Real Madrid are just miles behind, mate, in terms of form, in terms of repetition, in terms of what they're doing as a team. Miles behind. Barcelona have won 10 games in a row. If they win this 11th, bro, they're on course for doing something very special this season. Barcelona. Yeah? No, Koundé, I would say Koundé has been bad this season. Last season, he was good. Last season, I mentioned last season, the synergy between him and Yamal last season was good. This season, not so much. And it's affected their right-hand side. But the left-hand side, obviously, when Rafinha returned, everything seems to be fine again. Because Rafinha is the main guy. And I tell you what, Rafinha has been the main instigator behind these wins. This guy, he presses, he works rate is unbelievable. He's absolutely crazy, mate. Like, this guy is unbelievable. Like, Rafinha is on a different wavelength, like, altogether. I wish that Real Madrid had a player like Rafinha. I wish, honestly. There's something about him that screams class, work rate, emphasis on the football pitch. Everything that Vinny isn't. Everything that Vinny isn't. 150% work rate every time. Would he start this game? I don't know. But it may be Hansi Flick's downfall if he doesn't start Rafinha this game. I think Rafinha should start. I've got to be honest. Yeah? And to make it 11 and maybe go into 12 and go into 13 or 14 or 15, bro, it could be happening. It could be happening when Barcelona go on mad runs. I've said it before, that Barcelona sometimes can go on 10, 15 games and just go absolutely back-to-back, mate. We've seen it before. I've seen it many, many years where Barcelona just take games and games and games on their chin and just absolutely cook. So Rafinha absolutely needs to do a job if he's being playing tomorrow. Absolutely, man. Mad, yeah? So this whole team, man, I tell you, they're doing wonders, man. They deserve, honestly, Barcelona, they deserve it. They were 5 points behind Real Madrid, and they took it in themselves, okay, cool, we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on winning games. And that's what they did. Barcelona took it upon themselves to just win every game back to back. They said, Real Madrid are going to fall off. Real Madrid are going to fall off. And Real Madrid fell off. This is what we are. Yeah? This is what Real Madrid are. And Barcelona, they're on a different wavelength completely, man. This match coming up tomorrow is going to signify the differences between Barcelona and Real Madrid when it comes to Copa del Rey. That's why Barcelona, in terms of the Copa del Rey, they won it more times than Real Madrid, because in terms of the Spanish football, they know how to break majority of Spanish football team down. Real Madrid don't. Real Madrid don't know how to break down Spanish teams. That's factual, mate. Real Madrid do not know how to break down Spanish teams. That is absolutely, they have no clue. They have no clue on how to do it. And this is speaking volumes, and we saw it today against Albacete. But Barcelona, no. Even the match against Guadalajara, yeah, they played trash, but they won the game. They won the game. They know what they're doing. They know how to play against these teams. And just to round up the last 2 minutes, guys. Round up the last 2 minutes, yeah, before I head off. I've been streaming like a maniac today. Yeah? Barcelona are going to cook Racing Santander tomorrow. I think Santander will get a goal. I think it's going to be 3-1, 4-1 to Barcelona tomorrow. Guys, put your predictions, yeah? Put your predictions in the chat, guys. Put your predictions in the chat. I have spoken to people today in the chat, guys. I have addressed a few comments today. Let's address a few comments, yeah? Let's address a few. Dave, you know Rafa does everything, drop deep, key passes. I know he does. And more. But Mbappe, he just focuses on how many goals he scores. But Mbappe is completely different, man. Mbappe is the walking definition of an egotistical maniac, yeah? Rafinha, everything he does for the team. Everything he does for the team, yeah? Everything he does. And Freddie, I do speak to people, yeah, in life. But I want to make it so it flows nicely, yeah? And I address people's facts, chats when I speak in through the live stream as well, yeah? 5-0 Barca, 6-0 Barca. 5-0 Barca, 6-0 Barca. Crazy, man. Crazy. Rafinha. Cancelo's in right now, yeah. And I don't think he'll feature. I think he needs a few games to feature. He needs to work with the team in terms of training and everything. Yeah. I have a feeling that if Pedri doesn't play well, we'll lose. I don't think so. I don't think Giorgio. I don't think it'll happen. Oh, it wasn't to me. Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry. Sorry. I think it'll be a little more difficult. Racing see what happened tonight. They will believe they can repeat what Albacete did. This won't happen against Barcelona. Barcelona will find a way to come back, and they've done it so many times this season that their remontada speaks for themselves, guys. Yeah. But guys, honestly, unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable streaming today, man. I am lost for words, mate. I mean, Albacete, first of all. But Barcelona tomorrow, they'll probably do the job. You probably see them battering. I think it's going to be like 4-1 to Barcelona. But who knows, man? Who knows what Santander do? And we'll just need to wait, honestly. Champions League, both teams, I don't think are doing anything. But at the moment, actually, currently on form, I think Barcelona have more chance of going deeper in the competition in the Champions League also. So I have no clue, mate. Yeah. Racing Santander is in La Liga next year, so we'll see, obviously. Absolutely. Yeah. They play good football. I've seen them play football, guys. Yeah. Racing Santander play good football. Yeah. So, honestly, what a chaotic day, guys. I have no words to describe this, yeah. No words. But, guys, honestly, amazing streaming today, yeah. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much for supporting the channel. Guys, if you're new, guys, Dave Talks Barca is solely Barca content, yeah. Dave Talks Madrid is Madrid, linked with a bit of Barca, so we'll keep both of them separate. Obviously, majority of Madrid content on Dave Talks Madrid, majority of content of Barca on Dave Talks Barca. So all content actually of Barcelona. So yeah, crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. I have no idea, man. I have no idea what to think about this. This is mad. Yeah. I just lost for words. I'm just lost for words. But guys, take care. Adios, yeah. And we'll see you on another live stream tomorrow. Watch along, guys. By the way, watch along on this channel tomorrow. Yeah. Watch along on this channel tomorrow. Dave Talks Barcelona. Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow. Adios, and we'll see you